गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम टू गना शॉट। गना शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है। आज हम देखेंगे एलएसी के ऊपर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में क्या इजाफा हुआ है और क्या बदलाव है, और इसके बारे में बात करने के लिए मेरे साथ जनरल संजय कुलकर्णी है और वो बताएंगे उनका ऑन ग्राउंड एक्सपीरियंस। संजय, वेलकम।
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much.
राइट,
Jai Hind.
तो जय हिंद। राइट, आज मैं सबको बताना चाहता हूं, अभी 2020 लद्दाख का जो इनकर्शंस हुए हैं, झड़प हुआ है, यांगजे में भी हुआ है 2022 में, और हमारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के ऊपर जोर है। हम सब ख्वाब देखते रहते हैं कि भाई इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हुआ कि नहीं। हमारा वी डोंट नो द एक्चुअलिटी ऑन ग्राउंड। तो राइट, सो 2 weeks बैक, इनफैक्ट 1 month बैक, जनरल संजय कुलकर्णी है और हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे यार अगला क्या कार्यक्रम करना है। उन्होंने बताया यार मैं तो जा रहा हूँ लद्दाख और अरुणाचल, पहले अरुणाचल जा रहा हूँ उसके बाद लद्दाख जा रहा हूँ। मैंने कहा फिर वहां का फोटो लेके आना और वो फोटो के दिखाएंगे, और आप बताइए कि आपने क्या अंतर देखा है एलएसी में। क्यों, आप तो ब्रिगेड कमांडर रह चुके हैं वहां अरुणाचल में, और फिर ले में तो ये चीफ ऑफ स्टाफ भी रह चुके हैं वहां, तो इनको पता होगा कि बदलाव क्या है तब और अब। और इन्होंने बहुत सारे फोटोग्राफ दिखाए। आज का कहानी मेरे ख्याल में बहुत दिलचस्प होगा, मेरे को डाउट नहीं है, क्योंकि मेरे खुद के रोंगटे अभी खड़े हो रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये पिक्चर मैंने भी 20-25 साल के बाद देखा है। राइट, और मैं उत्सुक हूं कि ये क्या बोलेंगे। संजय, all yours. I'll just show the photographs today.
Thank you very much, Shankar sir. First and foremost, मैं सब दर्शकों को बताना चाहता हूं कि जब मैं जनरल शंकर से बात करता हूं, ये एक ऐसे अफसर हैं जिन्होंने जमीन देखी है, उनको सब मालूम है। और आज वो खुद कह रहे हैं और फोटोग्राफी भी दिखाएंगे कि किस प्रकार से वो 20-25 साल पहले उधर रहे और आज मैं देख करके आया और बहुत फर्क पड़ा है। And I'll discuss on aspects of infrastructure and what is the state of morale of the boys whom I interacted and I met, and also the Agniveers जिसके बारे में कई बार बातें होती है, पता नहीं कैसे हैं क्या है, जिनको मैं मिला और तकरीबन 75 से 100 की नफरी में पलटनों में मिला, तो उनके बारे में भी मैं बताऊंगा कि मेरा इम्प्रेशन उनके बारे में कैसा रहा।
Right.
जैसे जलशंकर ने मुझे कहा कि we must discuss about Arunachal and Ladakh, it was just a coincidence उनका कॉल आना और मैंने उनको कहना about maybe about 3 weeks back ये मैं खुद जा रहा हूँ, and for New Year I'm in Arunachal Pradesh, I'll be in Tawang. He said, oh fantastic, then you might well as finish with all this, then come back and then tell us your personal experience of what it is all about. So at the very outset, let me tell you, tremendous change. जिसे बोलते हैं सी चेंज, समथिंग अनबिलीवेबल। मैं सोच नहीं सकता कि मैं दिल्ली से मैंने गुवाहाटी के लिए फ्लाइट पकड़ी, गुवाहाटी से उसी दिन आई स्टेज फॉरवर्ड अप टू टेंगा एंड देन नेक्स्ट डे आई मूव टू तवांग। सो थ्रू आउट जो पहले
रूट व्हिच वी आर शोइंग इज फ्रॉम तेजपुर देन टू अ प्लेस कॉल्ड बालुकपोंग, बालुकपोंग से ऊपर जाता है बॉमडिला, बॉमडिला से नीचे उतरता है, फिर ऊपर चढ़ता है सेला, सेला से फिर नीचे जाता है, यू क्रॉस 3 रिजेस, देन यू रीच तवांग, एंड फिर तवांग से फिर ऊपर चढ़ के एलएसी जाता है। So this whole story General Kulkarni is going to show in pictures too. That's the best part. So yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And I must also tell you, while you're talking about Sela, and when I went down on my way to Tawang from Sela, you go by Jaswantgarh. And as luck would have it, at Jaswantgarh, we met these, IAS officers who had just got this thing into the IAS. They do a military attachment. And during that attachment, they do a fortnight's attachment. So they were in Tawang and they were returning. And the topper of that batch happened to be a girl called Ishita. whom I met at Jaswantgarh Memorial. It just so happens that since I'm associated with some of these academies for their normal training and aspects of how to go about in the interviews, so this girl topped, and she's a topper, and from the same school, same college, and having topped and having met her at Jaswantgarh was also a great thing. So at least they realized how difficult it is to be, and she's an Air Force officer's daughter, and you know how it is all about. So having let me get back. तो जैसे ही मैं गुवाहाटी पहुंचा उसी दिन मैंने सोचा मैं टेंगा तक स्टेज फॉरवर्ड करता हूं. सो द जर्नी टू टेंगा थ्रू द टनल, मतलब आप सोच नहीं सकते कि ऐसे इलाके में टनल भी बनती है. एंड देन क्रॉसिंग सेला, I could have crossed to another tunnel, but the tunnel was not open. The Sela tunnel was not open. ये जो आप बर्फ देख रहे हैं ये सेला के ऊपर की बर्फ है, और सेला टनल खुला नहीं था. उसका उद्घाटन आई एम टोल्ड दैट इज एक्सपेक्टेड इन अ मंथ्स टाइम और सो. और वो जब खुल जाएगा द वे टू तवांग विल बी कट शॉर्ट. सोच सकते हैं आप, मैं गुवाहाटी लैंड किया दिल्ली से सवेरे, एंड फ्रॉम गुवाहाटी आई स्टेज फॉरवर्ड टू टेंगा. If I wanted to, I could have just gone down to Tawang also, but then it takes another 5 hours. I didn't want to because I reached Tenga about 6:37 in the evening. तो शाम को पहुंचा मैं. कब जनरली माउंटेनस टेरेन में जितना अवॉइड कर सकते हैं रात को इस तरह का ट्रैवल करना बेस्ट अवॉइडेबल. सो सिंस आई रीच्ड राइट, सो मॉर्निंग 6 o'clock I'm in Delhi, and by evening 7 o'clock I'm at Tenga. So that is the kind of infrastructure development that has come up by traveling, of course, by air, by road, and then reaching there. It's a commendable thing. To the what do you call the tunnels also that have come en route. So ये जो development है, even at Tenga, जो पहले लोग रहे होंगे और अब टेंगा में जाकर के देखेंगे, it's unimaginable. The kind of infrastructure that has come up, the kind of roads that have come up, the kind of civilian population that has come up over there, the pakka houses that you see around. And what surprised me most is, I think every second or third house over there had a car. एक गाड़ी घर के सामने खड़ी, which invariably because of the way everybody is staying along the road, so गाड़ियां तकरीबन रास्ते के ऊपर होती है. हम लोग जब थे, मैं तो कहूंगा मैं तकरीबन 15 साल पहले था, जनशंकर वहां पे खुद कह रहे हैं वो 25 साल पहले उधर रहे, उन्होंने देखा सिर्फ फौजी गाड़ियां दिखती थी, और आज फौजी गाड़ियां कम और सिविलियंस की गाड़ियां ज्यादा. तो ये जो एक बदलाव आया है, एंड दैट change is primarily because of the amount of impetus given to the infrastructure. जब infrastructure बनता है, you find tourists also going there, locals जो हैं उनके भी जो standard of living में उधार होता है, उनका education, schools that you see en route, the way people are dressed up en route, everything, there's a sea change. मतलब मैं तो कहूँगा सबने जाना चाहिए. अब ये देखिए ट्रांजिट कैंप रास्ते में, किस तरह के ट्रांजिट कैंप्स हैं, किस तरह के रास्ते बने हुए हैं, ये लोग जो है बहुत फर्क. देन इतनी बर्फ ये जो आप बर्फ देख रहे हैं ये सेला के ऊपर है, तो सेला टॉप. और मैं जब वापस आ रहा था तो इतनी बर्फ वहां पे गिर रही थी. इट वाज रेड बट स्टिल वी मैनेज टू पुट द चेन्स एंड गेट अक्रॉस सेला. ये वर्कर्स हैं जो रास्ते में रास्ता साफ करते हैं और यकीन करते हैं कि जो कॉन्वॉयज हैं वो चलती रहें और रास्ता बंद ना हो. So when I reached Tawang the next day, the transit camps en route, of course, the transit camps en route, there was a sea change in the kind of thing that has come up. ये बर्फ आप देख रहे हैं, ये सेला के ऊपर जो बर्फ है, with the big sign over there, I love सेला करके, लोग वहां पे फोटो खिंचाते हैं. And the Sela lake over there is frozen over there. This is of course not the lake but the top of Sela. So this is the kind. उसके बावजूद भी इतना ट्रैफिक. And then I reached over there for a little later because I spent some time en route. मैं तब जहाँ पे पहुंचा ना, of course these are जलशंकर children, वो जब 25 साल पहले वहां पर थे, तो they are his children at Sela. आप समझ सकते हैं कि obviously those days also, even now families are permitted only during certain time. Up to of course at Tenga there's not a problem, but Sela पे और Sela Park थोड़ा families का period होता था. ये तब आते थे बच्चे जब generally during vacations, छुट्टियां होती थी बच्चों की, so they would all be able to join. but of course now you see what Sela is totally covered. और अब वो जब टनल बन जाएगा from Sela getting across almost nearing to Jaswantgarh, जहाँ पे मेमोरियल बना हुआ है, there will be absolutely no problem. It will be just in within no time and we'll be able to get to Tawang. So first and foremost, as मैं बता रहा था, is the infrastructure that you all see now on the photographs also. Good infrastructure, good wide roads that have come up. Vehicles, जैसे मैंने कहा, जैसे मैं तवांग पहुंचा, like I said, en route मुझे लगा कि 2-3 घरों के बीच में एक गाड़ी तो मैंने देखी, but उसी प्रकार, और मैं कहूंगा उससे भी ज्यादा, I saw the vehicles at Tawang. And that was something which was unbelievable. इतनी सारी गाड़ियां, इतने सारे, मतलब you could feel the change in the standard of living of people there. Chief Minister coming there as often as he can because he himself comes from Tawang. जो rasta wide, the people well dressed up, the vehicle traffic, good schools, good infrastructure, mobile connectivity right up to the forwardmost post. So there is a certain uh, total difference in the kind of infrastructure, in terms of communication, in terms of good roads are concerned, good health this thing is concerned, the hospitals that have come up all along, the aspects of air connectivity is concerned. So there is a sizable sea change in the infrastructure right up to. Now, having said that, then I went to Bumla. Now, this particular photograph that you will see is in the, there are two rivers, the Nyamjang Chu and the Namka Chu. तो ये दोनों नदियां जो है वो मिलती हैं, चू मतलब रिवर, वहां पे मैंने ये जो फोटो है वहां का है. This is towards almost Kinzemani. ये जो आप देख रहे हैं, ये small little board that shows which side is coming from Namkachu, and the main जो सफेद आपको बीच में नजर आ रहा है, that is the Nyamgang Chu, and the left से जो छोटा सा नदी आ रही है, that is called Namkachu. So on that green this thing that you say, Nyamgang Chu and the Namkachu का जो junction है, that is the photograph of the junction over there. So ये जो
मैं सबको बताना चाहता हूँ कि न्यामजांग जू जो है वो बॉर्डर के पार, एलएसी के पार से हमारी ओर बहता है, और नामका जो है वो ईस्ट वेस्ट से लेकर ईस्ट आके मिलता है. नामका चू के नॉर्थ में है तागला रिज, नामका जहाँ चाइना वाले होते हैं, और नामका चू के साउथ में हतुंगला रिज जहाँ हमारा पोस्ट है. राइट. सो दैट इज व्हाट सिग्निफिकेंस. अगर आप किसी भी किताब पढ़ोगे उस 62 के लड़ाई के बारे में, ये न्यामजांग चू और नामका चू का नाम तो आता ही है. राइट. तो या प्लीज कैरी ऑन.
बहुत जरूरी, बिल्कुल. आई एम सो ग्लैड दैट यू मेंशन दिस, क्योंकि जब तक हम लोगों को एरिया, जैसे कहा जलशंकर ने, हतुंगा अपनी तरफ है और थागला रिज जिसके ऊपर से मैकमोहन लाइन गुजरती है, जिसका दोनों देशों के बीच में जो विवाद है मैकमोहन लाइन को लेकर के, बिल्कुल इसके सामने, और दैट इज द थागला रिज विच रन्स अलोंग. अपनी तरफ है हतुंगा, एंड थागला रिज से होता हुआ मैकमोहन लाइन जाता है, लेकिन 62 की लड़ाई में वो नीचे आए, और नीचे यानी कि जो न्यामजांग चू नदी है, they feel that it should run along that river. So that is the kind of perception difference है. We will not discuss that, but having come back to the infrastructure. So आप देखते हैं सड़कें हैं. ये जो फोटोग्राफ जो जनशंकर दिखा रहे हैं, this is the place where His Holiness Dalai Lama आए थे, भारत के अंदर आए, और भारत के अंदर आने के बाद यहाँ पे खिंजेमाने में उन्होंने रेस्ट किया, and then he was received, and then of course the story is ever since he's into India. You find that from 1959 onwards हिंदुस्तान के अंदर ही His Holiness Dalai Lama, जिसको लेकर के 1962 के भी जो one of the reasons क्यों आपने इनको शरण दी हिंदुस्तान के अंदर लेकर के, ये जो पेड़ है, इस पेड़ के नीचे His Holiness Dalai Lama ने रेस्ट किया जब वो इधर आए, और आज भी वो पेड़ is supposed to be a very holy tree. अभी of course सूखा इसलिए नजर आ रहा है क्योंकि बहुत ठंडा था उधर, and of course it gets its green leaves immediately. जैसे थोड़ा सा, I think when the spring sets in, you'll find the leaves and everything over there, but it's something, a revered tree. बहुत सारे लोग अभी भी जाते हैं जिनको His Holiness Dalai Lama जो है एक बहुत ही religious leader के तौर पर उनको देखते हैं, and therefore he has a huge following in India as also in Tibet and the world over. तो कहने का मकसद इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो बहुत जबरदस्त, नंबर एक. नंबर दो, जैसे मैं बुमला पहुंचा, and that is the place where I saw invariably I would see Chinese. वो तकरीबन बहुत पीछे होते थे, नागडो करके कैंप है वहां पे होते थे, पर इस बार जब मैं गया उनको बिल्कुल ही मैंने बुमला पर देखा. That means they were at Bumla, the guards, the border troops were all at Bumla, which invariably I didn't see it earlier. So this was a little change that I saw, and it was almost like, well, you can say just a barrier which used to be between the two. एक छोटा सा बैरियर है, बैरियर के उस पार उनके दो सैनिक खड़े हैं और इस तरफ हम लोग हैं. So you can virtually say, but I have found the situation stable. जैसे चीफ भी बता रहे थे आर्मी डे में, the situation is stable, but yes, we have to be alert, and that is what it is, and therefore that is something which we have to be. But situation appeared, at least to me, very stable, and things look quite normal, nothing to be worried about, but we have to be vigilant. That is definitely, because nobody can be trusted and nobody should be taken, despite all the agreements in place. हमने देखा कि गलवान में चीन ने क्या किया, तो उस चीज को मद्देनजर रखते हुए, और जब तक फ्रिक्शन पॉइंट्स पे भी अभी तक बातचीत शुरू है, to go back to status quo ante 2020 वक्त लगेगा, तो we ought to be careful. I interacted with the troops also, and interaction with the troops, मैंने अग्निवीर जो हैं तकरीबन पलटनों में, यही पलटन में 50, कहीं में 75, कहीं में 100 तक पहुंचे हैं, बहुत अच्छे. So this general perception कि पता नहीं क्या है कैसे, I found them with high morale. I found them fantastically well trained, well versed, absolutely. And बाकी जवानों से जो सीनियर्स हैं उनसे बात की है कि ये जो लड़के आए हैं कैसे हैं, उनका भी उनके बारे में बहुत अच्छा एक मैं कहूँगा the report that we got, and the kind of camaraderie that existed. So this kind of general बीच में हवा उठती है, नहीं ये पता नहीं इनको ट्रेनिंग कैसे दी है, ये कैसे लड़ेंगे, कुछ नहीं. आई थिंक वी मस्ट सेट दैट असाइड, बिकॉज मैं अपनी आंखों से देख करके आया हूँ, उनसे मिला हूँ, उनके साथ बातचीत की, उनसे एंड इनफॉर्मली बात करने से पता चल जाता है कैसे है देयर कॉन्फिडेंस, देयर मोरल, देयर डिजायर टू बी देयर. पूछा भी मैंने सवाल कि भाई अगर आप 4 साल के बाद जाएंगे क्या करेंगे, ऑल प्रिपेयर्ड के साथ. हम 4 साल के लिए आए हैं, हमें बड़ा अच्छा लगता है कि वी वांट टू गो आउट एज अ डिसिप्लिन्ड सोल्जर. द काइंड ऑफ मनी दैट दे आर गेटिंग, एवरीबॉडी उनके तनख्वाह के अलावा जैसे बाकी जवानों को अलाउंसेस मिलते हैं, 20,500 रुपए मिलते हैं हर जवान को, इनको भी उतने ही मिलते हैं. So there is no difference at all in any field. खाना पीना रहना सब कुछ एक जैसे है. So let's set aside these rumors and these kind of things कि शायद हो सकता है कई लोगों ने इनसे मुलाकात नहीं हुई या मिले नहीं, तो ऐसे लग रहा होगा कि पता नहीं कैसे है, कुछ नहीं. एंड between 50 and 100 people, and 2 बैचेस आ गए, तीसरा बैच आ रहा था. So sizable number of Agniveers I interacted, and I can make you all feel extremely at ease. Do not worry, they're very well trained, they're very good, fantastic camaraderie, that's fantastic synergization with the old troops and the fresh lot which is coming in. So that is something which is very good and extremely satisfying देखने में ये लगा. तो तीसरी बड़ी बात जो मैंने देखी, ये बंकर्स जो आप देख रहे हैं, ये पुराने बंकर्स हैं जो 1962 में बने थे, रास्ते में लगते हैं, एंड दे ऑल दिस थिंग, the bunkers also, I will say, excellent, which have come up now, no problems whatsoever. The all said and done, the infrastructure part super, the communication part excellent, the morale of the troops just high, the leadership of excellent order at all places. I met everybody from top seniors to the Agniveer, everybody fantastic. The roads, class, the roads that have come up, the tunnels that have come up, just unbelievable, the tunnels that have come up. The tunnel which will be opened soon, the Sela tunnel, will cut short on the communication for going to Tawang. The kind of troops and the facilities that are en route, whether be it at Jaswantgarh or the various transit camps that are coming, super. The people themselves over there, the number of houses that have come up in Tawang, you cannot match the kind of infrastructure. Then this is, of course, the place called Lungrola. Now, Lungrola is between Hatunga and Bumla. A nice place. I went to the top and saw the this thing. Is just iske niche hi is the incident which occurred of Sundarong Chu. वो जो 1986-88 में हुआ, और वहां पे वो नीचे ही है, अपना पोस्ट है इधर कॉल तगड़ा रहो, और उस तगड़ा रहो पोस्ट में अब मैं गया देखा, बिल्कुल नीचे ही वांगडुंग कैंप है चाइनीज का. सो all said and done, I think the situation is stable. There is no denying this is the what they call as the Madhuri Jheel, Shungetser Lake bolte, it was frozen, absolutely frozen. You can see it's or you can see those stumps, those trees which are they have बर्फ में तो अब सब का सब बिल्कुल ही ये हो गए. बट दिस इज द माधुरी झील जहाँ पे मूवी की शूटिंग भी हुई थी. आई थिंक माधुरी दीक्षित इधर आई थी शूटिंग में शाहरुख खान. दैट इज व्हाई पीपल स्टिल कॉल इट माधुरी झील. So that is what otherwise is Shungetsa Lake. Now this is the en route called Nagula, जो जगह है जहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है इस तरह I love Nagula. So you find there is sea change. मतलब जो पहले लगता था कि सच में हम लोग फॉरवर्ड एरिया में जा रहे हैं, कुछ नहीं है, ऐसे कुछ नहीं है. I find Tawang itself a bubbling town with lots of economic activity, with people living well, doing well, eating well. Everything was class. So something that really impressed me. And because these are the hutments and the tea gumpa, you can see the cars and all parked over there. So many cars. मतलब मैंने जैसे कहा हर 2 या 3 घर के बाद गाड़ियां. And the labor also was available. They also came in very nicely turned out, nicely attired, and something unbelievable, something that you can really be proud of. That yes, this vision जो सरकार का है, this vibrant villages that have to come up, and those are not the frontline villages, the first village. मतलब शुरुआत भारत की जहाँ से होती है वहां से जो villages बन रहे हैं धीरे धीरे करके, बहुत अच्छे. And water is available to them, the roads connectivity is available to them, infrastructure is coming up in a big way over there. Mobile connectivity, you can see shepherds mobile, मतलब everybody has a mobile. Of course you can have the Chinese, वो भी आता है आपके बीच में, but then you can keep it away, आप उसको disconnect करके you can go on your Airtel or BSNL, whichever that you are subscribing to over there. So connectivity is fantastic. Health facilities are damn good. I saw a hospital that is coming over there. Pakka houses that I saw. The number of cars that I saw with people, which was something mind-boggling. The total change, sea change in the Agniveers I mentioned to you, the kind of training and the kind of morale that I saw of the troops over there, despite it being very cold. This is me in with the background with the Shungetser Lake en route to Lungrola. So I found very nice, and I've come back from Arunachal a very satisfied man. That my God, the leadership is super. The troops are super. The infrastructure is class. The government is doing its best to help and ensure everybody gets hot food. Though nobody needs to look back. So, किसी चीज में कोई कमी नहीं है. हिंदुस्तान, ये जो पत्थर है, this is the Joginder War Memorial. Just इसके बगल में, it is closer to Bumla. This is the Joginder War Memorial. Joginder, ये जो War Memorial बना है, he is the person who got the Paramveer Chakra in 1962 war, and he died as a PW over there. And this is Subedar Joginder Singh, and this is the memorial that was constructed when I was there as a brigade commander. I served there as a CO also at Lungrola, then as a brigade commander also of Tawang. तो मैंने जो खुद देखा, I thought everybody, officers, definitely commanders, GOCs, the corps commanders, all of them, far sharper, far better, far superior than what we were in our time. So we can be safe. This is Bumla. This is just Bumla. You can see the barrier. उस बैरियर के नॉर्थ को Chinese, and I'm standing on our side. That is the heap of stones onto the right, and just joining the heap of stones, this is where the BPMs take place. Border personal meeting बोलते हैं. Border personal meeting होती है चाइनीज की तरफ, उस बैरियर के उस पार थोड़ा सा, नॉट इवन 10 कदम उस पार उनके एक हट बना हुआ है. वहां पे उनकी बॉर्डर पर्सनल मीटिंग होती है, और अपनी तरफ अपना बना हुआ है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जहाँ पे बॉर्डर पर्सनल मीटिंग. सो दिस इज द प्लेस द बॉर्डर पर्सनल मीटिंग टेक्स प्लेस एट बुमला, एंड विच एवरीबडी आप टीवी के ऊपर देखते रहते हैं किस प्रकार से ट्रुप्स मार्च कर रहे हैं. दिस इज ऑल at the place called Bumla. So I can say that with hope, confidence, and the complete certainty fantastic, very good. Leadership, morale, infrastructure, all of it in place. And well, it's a continuous process. It will carry on without fail. And therefore, when the chief of the army staff says, or the Northern Army commander says, the situation is stable, but we've got to be sensitive. Its alertness has to be maintained. That, of course, goes without saying. And as I said, the Chinese are, at least in Arunachal, I could see them and meet them I saw them rather at Bumla, which earlier times one wouldn't be able to see them as often unless until they came up to the heap of stone. Up to they're standing there and guarding their area. So that is one sea change. I saw their infrastructure also. Now the Chinese, this is the Maratha ground. The Chinese infrastructure now. This is talking about our own infrastructure. The Chinese infrastructure has also come up in a very big way. You could see the blacktop roads. You can see their villages in front. You can see their infrastructure having come up. So they are also in a very large measure अपनी तरफ उनकी तरफ भी काफी कुछ उन्होंने बना रखा है और पूरी उम्मीद है कि उनका भी जो ट्रुप्स हैं वो भी उनके एरिया में पीछे हैं जो नजर नहीं आते तकरीबन 8-10 किलोमीटर पीछे होंगे at a place called Nagdo or you're still a little beyond that हैं इसमें कोई शक नहीं जाते जाते रहते हैं वो so this is a change so their infrastructure has also come up in a very big way which was always there वो काफी टाइम से बन रहा था अब हमारा भी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो है उसमें भी कोई खामी नहीं है दिस इज द तवांग टाउन यू कैन सी द मॉनेस्ट्री वो पूरा जो बोट के शेप में जो नजर आ रहा है दैट इज द तवांग मॉनेस्ट्री so this is as regards the Tawang Arunachal this is the Arunachal town आई एम श्योर जिन्होंने जलशंकर ने जो काफी टाइम से नहीं गए होंगे उधर अब अगर देखेंगे तो यू कांट इमेजिन ये इस तरह का सिविलियन स्ट्रक्चर is there at Tawang. Such good hotels have come up, homestays have come up, vehicles have come up. This is the Buddha, which is bang in the heart of the town. Electricity over there, water available 24/7. You see multi-storied buildings over there, the monastery over there. So this kind of a change that I saw in Arunachal Pradesh is definitely very, very heartening. And now we come down to what Jal Shankar just showed, that is Ladakh. Now, what he just showed was the Shanti Stupa.
So we'll now move कि अरुणाचल तो आपने देख लिया कि किस तरीके से बदलाव हुआ है, राइट? मैं लास्ट एक्चुअली वहां रहा था 90s में और उसके बाद 2-3 बार जा चुका हूँ. लास्ट में गया था 2015 के टाइम पे और तब से अभी तक जो इन्होंने पिक्चर्स दिखाया उसमें काफी बदलाव है. 15 तो 8 साल पहले की बात है. सो देयर इज लॉट ऑफ चेंज एंड खास करके जो बुमला का फोटोग्राफ है मैं बताना चाहता हूँ जो दोबारा वापस जाके आई जस्ट एक्सप्लेन जो मैंने देखा था और जो आज है मैं उसका फर्क आप सबको पता होना चाहिए, राइट? ओके, विल गो बैक टू बुमला. ये है बुमला, आप पीछे देख रहे हो. हमें तो बिल्कुल कोई उनका बोर्ड कुछ नहीं नजर आता था. दूरों दूर मीलों मील तक ये सिर्फ फ्लैट ग्राउंड है. अभी भी देख सकते हो उस साइड जो है जमीन बिल्कुल फ्लैट है. हमारा साइड उतना फ्लैट नहीं है, कुछ देर के बाद उबड़ खाबड़ हो जाता है और हमारा साइड जो ना चढ़ना पड़ता है बुमला तक. पर उस साइड में ना मीलों मील तक आप देख रहे हो फ्लैट है. उसके लिए उनको कुछ इससे कोई फायदा भी है पर बहुत वो ये ओपन में आ जाते हैं. कोई भी हरकत बुमला के ऊपर होता है वो हमें नजर आता है और इसीलिए दे आर एक्चुअली एट अ डिसएडवांटेज इन दिस प्लेस. सो आई जस्ट वांट टू टेल यू टुडे विद द काइंड ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वी हैव, इट डजंट मैटर व्हाट चाइनीज हैव. हमारा जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में जो इजाफा हुआ है उससे हमें काफी फायदा है, राइट? आई जस्ट वांट टू पुट द डिफरेंस टू यू, ऑल ऑफ यू. अभी हम चलते हैं, जैसे इन्होंने बताया बुद्धा उधर भी है, बुद्धा इधर भी है. अभी अब 2000 किलोमीटर उस साइड लद्दाख में. कम लेट्स स्टार्ट विद लद्दाख, संजय.
जब हम अरुणाचल में होते हैं तो हम ताशी देले बोलते हैं. जब भी किसी अरुणाचली को मिलते हैं, रास्ते में मिलते हैं, तो वी ऑलवेज ग्रीट देम ताशी देले. और इधर जब हम लद्दाख में आते हैं, जुले
जुले
शब्द का इस्तेमाल करते हैं। सो द ग्रीटिंग इन लद्दाख, दोनों बुद्धिस्ट हैं, दोनों ही अपने अपने दोनों तरफ हिज होलीनेस दलाई लामा का जबरदस्त फॉलोइंग है। हिज होलीनेस दलाई लामा अरुणाचल में तवांग में भी जाते हैं, जहाँ पे बौद्ध धर्म के ज्यादा लोग फॉलो करते हैं, जहाँ एक दूसरे को ग्रीट करते हैं तो ताशी डेले बोलते हैं। और वैसे ही वही अब जब लद्दाख में आते हैं तो जुले बोलते हैं। और जो भी लोग होते हैं, हम किसी को बुलाना चाहते हैं प्यार से, उसको नुनुले बोलते हैं। नुनुले, नुनुले मतलब छोटा भाई, छोटा बेटा, जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं भैया बेटा, तो वो उस तरह का शब्द इस्तेमाल करते हैं, नुनुले और जुले शब्द का इस्तेमाल करते हैं। तो हम अभी लद्दाख पहुंचे तो जुले यानी ये जो है, जो दिखा रहे हैं जलशंकर, ये है शांति स्तूपा। शांति स्तूपा इज प्लेस वे हिंदुस्तान, this is constructed with Japanese this thing. The Japanese have constructed this and properly. बहुत vantage point है, बहुत अच्छी जगह है, जहाँ से आप पूरा लद्दाख जो ले टाउन है उसको बहुत अच्छी तरीके से देख सकते हैं। तो यहाँ पे जो आते हैं, since it has been made, because जापान में भी बुद्धिज्म है, इधर भी अपने यहाँ पे, so they have that love and affection। तो यहाँ पे आप दिल्ली में भी देखते हैं एक शांति स्तूपा बना हुआ है, बिल्कुल तकरीबन वैसे ही एक शांति स्तूपा ले में बना हुआ है। सो दिस इज नाउ, मैं अब आपको ले बताऊंगा। ले में मैं जब गया तो मुझे ऑफ कोर्स सर्दी दोनों तरफ, कड़ाके की सर्दी जैसे आपने देखा वहां पर, और इधर भी शुरू में जब ले में थे तो प्रॉपर ले में थोड़ी बर्फ कम, उसके बाद जैसे जैसे मैं आता रहा वैसे वैसे बर्फ गिरती रही, और आगे जब चांगला की तरफ गया तो काफी बर्फ गिरी हुई थी। तो बर्फ दोनों तरफ है। नाउ दिस इज द प्रॉपर ले टाउन, एंड देन द ये जो ले टाउन है, दिस इज द व्यू ऑफ द ले टाउन फ्रॉम शांति स्तूपा। शांति स्तूपा से ले कैसे दिखता है वो जलशंकर आपको दिखा रहे हैं कि किस तरफ से, चारों तरफ से ले टाउन दिखता है। So having reached Leh, I thought I must first go, and this of course, ये जो आपको sir, can you show that photograph again? Yeah, most people here want to know Kailash range, Kailash range. This is the Kailash range. जो आप अभी आपको दिखा, वो जो नजर आ रहा है, this is the Kailash range, और मैं उस कैलाश रेंज पे भी गया। So now having reached Leh, I will show them how that infrastructure वहां पर बहुत फर्क पड़ा। Now this is the part of the memorial which is there at the museum which is there at Ladakh. This is the museum. बहुत लोग, मतलब I find that there were tourists in Leh are far more, जहाँ बहुत ज्यादा लोग आते हैं ले घूमने के लिए, बनिस्पत अरुणाचल में इतने नहीं जा पाते तवांग की तरफ जितने जाने चाहिए। मुझे लगता है बहुत टूरिस्ट जाते हैं नथुला की तरफ। नथुला इज अगेन फुल ऑफ tourism, and you find the same kind of tourism in Leh also, and I'm sure धीरे धीरे करके is now picking up in Arunachal। तवांग को देखने के लिए, मोनेस्ट्री को देखने के लिए, बुमला जाते हैं देखने के लिए, शुंगेत्सर जाते हैं जिसको माधुरी झील बोलते हैं देखने के लिए। So there is a lot which is happening in तवांग धीरे धीरे करके, for which infrastructure now is in place. वैसे ले में of course for years people have been going to Leh, and this of course ये जो फोटोग्राफ दिख रहा है, this is the what they call रजांगला का जो वॉर मेमोरियल है, this is the zero point. Now बीच बीच में अफवाहें उड़ी थी कि साहब वो जो रजांगला में जो फीचर है उसके ऊपर वॉर मेमोरियल बना है, वो वॉर मेमोरियल निकाल दिया है, वहां पे ऐसे कुछ नहीं है। मैं वहां पे रहा हूं तो ये जो अमूमन हम हर कोई बनाने की कोशिश करता है उधर, but the war memorial of the 1962 as a tribute to the Ahirs is, this is the Ahir धाम, जहां पे था 1962 के बाद जहां बना, वहीं पर उसी जगह पे, दिस इज द सेंटर पार्ट। if you show the next photograph sir, the center part है ये उस रजांगला, this is a Razangla War Memorial which was inaugurated by Raksha Mantri, and we had even Brigadier Jatar who had participated in the war of 1962, वो मगर हिल में थे, और रजांगला में of course मेजर शैतान सिंह की कंपनी फाइट कर रही थी। he was the company commander मगर, which was just adjoining the रजांगला। तो वो जो जहाँ पे वॉर मेमोरियल है 1962 का, वहीं पर अभी भी उसी को बहुत बढ़िया बनाया है। ये जो फोटोग्राफ्स आप देख रहे हैं, दिस इज द रजंगला वॉर मेमोरियल, वेयर यू फाइंड लॉट्स ऑफ दिस मोटरसाइकिल के ऊपर so many of these youngsters keep going, and this is the photograph of Major Shaitan Singh inside the war memorial. So that entire area, that war memorial has come up beautiful. It is at the same place. Yeah, this is the war memorial. You see the original thing is in the center, what we showed you as the names of all the people who were martyred, जो शहीद हुए, उनके नाम उस के ऊपर लिखे, वो वहीं पर है, और ये झंडा भी वैसे ही लगा हुआ है, और उसके इर्द गिर्द आया है रजांगला वॉर मेमोरियल. So the original thing is, yeah, this is the original which was there after 62. It is still there, and the war memorial has come out. So कई बार कई तरह के लोग अफवाहें उड़ाने की कोशिश करते हैं, नहीं जी वहां था, यहाँ से उठा करके ये कर दिया उन्होंने, ऐसे कर दिया, ऐसे कुछ नहीं. वी हैव अ टेंडेंसी, जहाँ भी हम लोग जाते हैं वहां पे कुछ न कुछ बनाने की कोशिश करते हैं. But the war memorial is at the same place where it was and where it has been further improved. They're called the Razangla War Memorial. So मैं जब ले पहुंचा, again these are all the names in the on the Razangla War Memorial which are inscribed on every stone, like the National War Memorial के जैसे उससे एक पत्थर के ऊपर एक नाम, वैसे ही इधर भी एक पत्थर के ऊपर एक नाम. हरे पूरे 114 जो हमारे ये दिस इज रजांगला वॉर मेमोरियल. सो 114 जो शहीद हुए उन सब के नाम वॉर मेमोरियल के ऊपर लिखे हुए हैं. सो लैंडेड इन ले. So after having landed at Leh, of course, you really need to acclimatize. And even though because you fly in state and you want to go as far forward as you can, तो मैंने देखा कि tremendous difference. I was chief of staff. मैं वहाँ पे 2014 में था. 2013-2014 में वहाँ पे मैं चीफ ऑफ स्टाफ था. उससे पहले मैं 82, 83, 84 में था. तो मैंने देखा कि so much of change has taken place in Leh capital itself. The wide roads that have come up, the construction that has come up. We had a chance for meeting the governor over there. उनको भी मिले हम लोग. So I found that lot of changes that have come up in infrastructure, road widening, the number of vehicular traffic that has gone there. Probably everybody seems to be having a car there also. I was also told, मैंने को किसी ने बताया उधर कि ले एक ऐसी राजधानी है जहाँ पे सबसे अधिक फिक्स डिपॉजिट है 10 लाख से ज्यादा. मतलब 10 लाख से ज्यादा per family has a fixed deposit over there in the State Bank of India. So that is the kind of money that is being generated from tourism ever since it has become a union territory. So there is a tremendous sea change in the infrastructure, in the outlook of the people, in the possession of the vehicles. That itself shows that the wealth which is flowing in, the markets which are full, the number. Of course, the only difference that I noticed was पहले ले में फॉरेन टूरिस्ट बहुत आते थे, और अब कोविड के बाद फॉरेन टूरिज्म थोड़ा सा कम हो गया है, बट डोमेस्टिक टूरिज्म हैज इंक्रीज्ड कमेंडेबल, बहुत ज्यादा. और वैसे मैं जब श्रीनगर गया था उससे पहले, आई फाउंड श्रीनगर आल्सो फुल. मतलब फुल इज नॉट द वर्ड. चश्मे शाही में बाहर आप पार्किंग करने के लिए आपको गाड़ी की बहुत परेशानी होती है. पार्किंग, उसके बाद चलना, एंड देन गेटिंग इनटू द full. Matlab, you can feel the difference in Srinagar. You can feel the difference in Leh. इतना मतलब domestic tourism, इतने सारे लोग उधर आते हैं और खरदुंगला तक जाते हैं, खरदुंगला को पार करते हैं, उधर तुर्तुक की तरफ जाते हैं, then सियाचिन बेस कैंप की तरफ जाते हैं, and over here they go to Pengangso Lake, and from Pengangso Lake they go to Chushul. So मेरे को लगता है that domestic tourism has actually लाखों में, this is of course is the Razangla War Memorial, and लाखों में, मतलब so much of tourism which has resulted in lovely roads. मतलब इतने बढ़िया roads हैं कि कई बार मुझे लगता है अगर गाड़ी ना हो, I can wear my skates and just skate around the road. It's such beautiful wide roads, blacktop roads, fantastic roads, fantastic bridges have come up over there. The tunnel of Zozila ka tunnel is under construction, so that is there. The दूसरा वाला जो हिमाचल से entry है from the Atal tunnel, which is already ready, and this is of course the bust of the Major Shaitan Singh inside the memorial. And so you find that the number of the infrastructure that has come all along is amazing. Just amazing. And why? So because after, of course, what happened in 2020 and the way द चाइनीज मतलब मुझे आज भी आश्चर्य होता है, मैं कहूंगा, क्योंकि मैं चाइनीज के साथ काफी बॉर्डर पर्सनल मीटिंग में कई सालों से उनके साथ बातचीत करता रहा। यहाँ तक कि मैं जब डीजी इन्फेंट्री था उस वक्त भी मैंने उनसे बातचीत की। मुझे कभी नहीं लगा कि इस तरीके से चाइनीज विल बिहेव और कंडक्ट इन सच ए स्टूपिड फैशन, आई विल से, इन 2020, जिसमें उन्हीं की बेइज्जती हो गई। उन्होंने मेरे को आश्चर्य होता है कि किस प्रकार से इतना बढ़िया सब कुछ चल रहा था, इतनी अच्छी दोस्ती थी, देयर वाज सो मच ऑफ फ्रेंडशिप व्हिच वाज देयर। मैं कई बार मिलता जुलता था बॉर्डर पर्सन मीटिंग में, उसके बाद भी वो जब कलकत्ता में भी आए, वहां पर भी, दिल्ली में आते थे, वहां पर भी बॉर्डर पर्सन मीटिंग में मिलता था, वहां पर भी चुशूल में मिलता था, कैंप में, वहां पर, everywhere I found there was tremendous amount of friendship, camaraderie, and I really felt that शायद ये दो हम जो पड़ोसी हैं एक अच्छा माहौल देखने को मिलेगा। पर जिस प्रकार से उन्होंने गलवान में पीठ पीछे छुरा घोंपा, मुझे लगता है अब चीनी के ऊपर विश्वास करना बहुत मुश्किल है, और उनकी जो लीडरशिप है उनको सोचना पड़ेगा कि अगर उनको भारत के साथ अच्छे रिश्ते बनाने हैं तो उनको अपने आप को सुधारना पड़ेगा। क्योंकि हम लोग ऑफ कोर्स उसके बाद, जैसे ये फोटोग्राफ्स आप देख रहे हैं, दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ रोड दैट हैव कम अप। बर्फ काफी गिरती है, और बर्फ गिरने के बाद धीरे धीरे बॉर्डर रोड्स जो है, चाहे वो आप अरुणाचल में देखें या लद्दाख में देखें, फैंटास्टिक काम। जिस प्रकार से अब ये ट्रांजिट कैंप है जो प्रॉपर वे में है, तो यू कैन सी दी काइंड ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर दैट हैज कम अप, lovely roads that have come up, roads widening which is going on, the living habitat which has come up all across, पानी का बंदोबस्त, हीटिंग का बंदोबस्त, दवाइयों का बंदोबस्त, खाने का बंदोबस्त। दिस इज चांगला। Now Changla is approximately 17,000 feet, and you can see this is the kind of snowfall that has occurred at Changla when I went there. So मैं कह सकता हूं आपको, मैंने खुद अपने नजर से, आंखों से देखा, मैं सबको मिल करके आया, और मिलने के बाद, देखने के बाद, सीइंग इज बिलीविंग, एंड अ पिक्चर इज वर्थ 10,000 वर्ड। कई बार लोगों को लगता होगा कि पता नहीं ऐसे ही तो नहीं बोल रहे हैं, कुछ नहीं, सच में मैंने अपनी आंखों से देखा। मैं, आपको आश्चर्य होगा, मैं सवेरे 6 बजे ट्रांजिट कैंप से निकला, और ये पूरा सर्किट करते हुए पंगांगसो लेक, चुशूल, and going up to Razangla, going across and coming back to Leh, 6 बजे शाम को निकला, और 6 बजे सवेरे निकला, और 6 बजे शाम को मैं लद्दाख में अपने ट्रांजिट कैंप में वापस पहुंच गया। आप सोच सकते हैं, this is the kind of infrastructure that has come up, and this was a
Yeah.
civilian driver in that civilian Innova that he took me across। सब जगह मिला, सब जवानों से बात किया, नाश्ता रास्ते में किया। ट्रांजिट कैंप में तो आपको मालूम ही है किस तरह से पकौड़ी, चाय, अब खाना, और फिर वापस आना। आई थिंक इट वाज वंडरफुल, अनबिलीवेबल, एंड आई एम श्योर शंकर सर, you've done a,
One
a
point I
yeoman
want
service।
one point I want to tell everyone, इन्होंने बोला कि लेह से सवेरे शुरू किया, ऊपर चांगला चढ़े, आगे उसका मैप दिखाता हूँ आपको, राइट? ये
दिस इज यू,
लेह से
ये
शुरू
तो
किया,
आपके फोटोग्राफ्स है।
वो बाद में लेह से आए, ये चांगला चढ़े ऊपर, चांगला से नीचे उतरने के बाद तांगजे गए, तांगजे से लेकर चुशूल, चुशूल है वो जो रेड डॉट है बीच में, और आगे है मोल्डो, लास्ट पॉइंट यहाँ है मोल्डो, ठीक है ना? तो ये इन्होंने बोला कि यहाँ से शुरू किया, वहां तक गए और वापस आए। तो बात यह है कि आजकल 2005 में यहाँ मैं तैनात था, मेरा पोस्टिंग था यहाँ एज अ कर्नल, और उस वक्त अगर सवेरे 6 बजे हम कारू से चलते, कारू जो है वो 30 किलोमीटर इस साइड है लेह के पास, कारू से अगर हम चलते और चुशूल तक होके हम वापस नहीं आ सकते थे। वो फर्क है, हम सिर्फ तांगजे तक रुक जाते थे, अगले दिन हम तांगजे से नीचे उतरते थे, ठीक है ना? तो इसका मतलब काफी बदलाव हो चुका है, राइट? और मैं सबको ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि देखिए, ये कारदुंगला के ऊपर जो बीचों बीच में मैं खड़ा हूँ एक कोट परका के साथ, वो प्रमाण है कि मैं भी था उस दिन उस वक्त, ये बहुत दिन पहले की बात है। और ये है जो बीच में, ये हमारा कारू में जो हेडक्वार्टर है, उसके बाहर जब बर्फ पड़ रहा था। तो लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स हैव चेंज्ड। यही मैं बता सकता हूँ. So what he has said is something fantastic. आज मेरे को तो अफसोस की बात यह है कि सिर्फ बहुत कम लोग इस आज के वीडियो देख रहे हैं. मैं सबको, आप सब लोगों को बताना चाहता हूँ, कृपया आपके दोस्तों को बोलिए ये वीडियो देखें, क्योंकि इसमें क्या है, आपको अगर शुद्ध देसी घी का स्वाद मिलेगा. ठीक है, जिस तरीके से हम बोलते हैं, ठीक, यू गेटिंग द एक्चुअल. ये नहीं
Sir,
पत्रकार
you
की
can't.
कहानी नहीं है, ये नहीं.
There's
या,
sea change, the kind of bridges that have come up, the widening of the roads, the electricity, the water. इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इन लद्दाख आप सोच नहीं सकते थे. हम लोग जब रहते थे, मुझे अभी भी याद है, जो बीच में हम लोग वो बुखारी होती थी, बुखारी को वो तार बिछा होता था ऊपर, और हम लोग चपातियां गर्म करके खाते थे इन द ट्रांजिट कैंप. कहाँ आजकल बुखारियां ही नहीं नजर आती. It's so many, मतलब the amount of electricity that is available in Leh proper is mind-boggling. You see the
माइंड.
markets full. Markets are full of all the things that you can demand. Refrigerators. Can you imagine? Refrigerators in Ladakh are being on sale there. Markets are full of everything. Similarly, I saw same thing in Srinagar. Same thing I saw in Tawang. Amazing. That is the kind of development. That is the kind of infrastructure. That is the kind of response to the people. That is the buying power of the people that has gone up. The markets that are full over there. Tourism, mind-boggling tourism. Whether it is in Leh, or whether it is in Srinagar, or whether it is in Tawang. Oh, and seeing is believing. Absolutely,
Yeah,
seeing is believing. And this is what I think, from what I wish we were young and we could go back again and join the army and be able to enjoy it. Good connectivity,
yeah.
good infrastructure, good habitat. I think all of it is class. And thanks, Shankar sir, to be able to convey and to be able to tell the people in India that see for yourself what changes have taken place. And as you rightly said, 2015 में तो आप वहां पे जब डीजी आर्टिलरी थे, तब आपने जाकर के देखा ये सब कुछ. और अब आप देख सकते हैं कि what changes have taken place in the
नहीं नहीं, बहुत
last
चेंजेस है.
about 7-8 years. Fantastic
7-8 years, बहुत
unbelievable
चेंज
change.
है. राइट, ट्रेमेंडस चेंज. सो व्हाट हैपेंस कि आप देखिए, आज वो खबर निकला है 2 दिन पहले कि वेस्टर्न कमांड में और सेंट्रल कमांड में कुछ झड़प हुए थे 2021-22 में, और जिसमें हमने उनको धकेल दिया बाहर. राइट. एंड वी दोस बॉयज हैव बीन ऑनर्ड आल्सो. एंड we did that in 2022, 21, 22. Infrastructure was still being made. Now, as days go by and the infrastructure keeps improving, it will only improve from here. It will not go down. Okay. Then how solid this LAC will become. The moment this LAC is well served with electricity, right, with heating systems, with communications, with proper roads, right? In fact, he's not actually covered the helicopters and air systems which are there. That is also coming up in a big way. A lot of helipads in each post, the medical facilities in each post. These are all very important to fight in that area. Okay. And after that, if you think that PLA can make any inroads into India, then we are not confident. But the way I look at it, I'm very confident that we'll do well. That is something which I've been
100%.
telling
We'll
for a
do
long time.
very well. Our
100%.
boys,
Okay.
so our boys, tremendous high morale,
Tremendous.
very well trained, excellent commanders, fantastic
Yeah.
leaders. Matlab, there's a sea change in what we were to what I saw
And
they are.
so,
Super.
yeah. See, we also have to understand, when we were youngsters, we were commanding I was a battery commander in high altitude. I was a troop commander in high altitude. I was an OP officer in high altitude. I was a CO in high altitude. I was also a brigade commander in Kibitu area. Right? Things were difficult. Things were difficult. It was very difficult to go from place A to place B. Many places there were no roads. कभी कच्चर नहीं मिलते थे. कच्चर मिल गया तो रोड नहीं, रोड मिल गया तो राशन नहीं, राशन मिल गया तो something or the other was there. Life was difficult. But from what today I can make out, things have changed completely. Right? You have the capability to fight the elements. And the big difference between us and the PLA soldiers is this. Our people acclimatize well and live well there. Those people don't. If in those areas you need an oxygen bottle to survive, then you are not a fighter. You can only survive out there. And your life is of survival, not for fighting. Whereas our soldiers, look, to start with, if I recount my old days, I've never used an oxygen bottle in my life. I've been to Siachen also. We've been to all corners of that area. I have never used a oxygen bottle. In fact, I've never seen it except in a helicopter where it is at times required. Most of our men don't use oxygen bottle unless it's a medical emergency. It's only emergency aid, but it is not for Chinese. It's a place where you need it. If you don't need, then you can't fight, or at least their way of fighting. So I think there's a whole huge change which has come up, and we should appreciate that. Anything more, Sanjay? Otherwise, we'll take a few questions.
No, absolutely. We can take a few questions because what you've just said is absolutely true. And if I'd wanted to, I could have even gone down to the Siachen base camp and come back the same day.
Come back the
That
same
is the
day.
kind of
That's the
infrastructure.
infrastructure which has come up there. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you. Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me take this on. Recently, Western Command and Central Command posted videos of gallantry citations along LNC. Aren't Western Command and Central Command away from LAC? Also, it shows PLA's. Look, let me clarify. Western Command and Central Command have some part of the LAC with them. The central sector and the Eastern Ladakh, the southern sector, southern part of Eastern Ladakh is with the Western Command. Further south, that's the Uttarakhand and Uttarakhand and Himachal. Part of it is with Central Command. Largely, the Uttarakhand part is with Central Command, and the Himachal part is with uh, Western Command. I
Western.
mean, I'm confusing you with a purpose. I don't know to tell the actuals, but that's the way it is, right? So they are also responsible for some part of the LAC. Okay, and the fact that we have kicked the PLA out from there also, though it has come to light, should tell us how strong we are. That's why I showed this. Okay. Uh, okay. The Trans-Himalayan is a walkover, which is a disadvantage for China. What is our manpower requirements during a conflict vis-a-vis China's requirement? Your take.
You know what happens is in mountains when you're defending, suppose the ratio, even if the normal ratio जो हम बात करते हैं लड़ाई में, the Chinese would require at least 9 times more than what we are. So it's virtually impossible for anyone to do anything as long as this kind of infrastructure is there, as long as the morale is high, people are well acclimatized, they know what's going on, and they don't have to look back. We did not fear. The people in India can be rest assured we have fantastic people guarding the LAC, and the territorial integrity and the sovereignty of the nation is in absolute safe hands. Fantastic leadership, fantastic people, fantastic equipment, fantastic infrastructure. Obviously, we need to be very, very vigilant 24/7. That goes without saying. And the constant improvement is also required to be done because change is the only thing which is constant, and that change is always for the good. It must be done, and we must continue. And I think everybody is at it. So I will say we need not worry at all. Let the people in India be working hard in making it an economically vibrant country. Militarily, we are strong. We will continue to do what the army is supposed to do or the armed forces are supposed to do. They'll do their job very well. Yeah, Shankar sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no doubt about it. I have never had a doubt about it. Will the government promote green tourism in the future? I suppose so. That's the way
Of course.
forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They will.
Okay.
There's tremendous
Yeah.
domestic tourism, be it in Ladakh, be it in Arunachal, be it in Srinagar, everywhere. It's full, lakhs of people, not thousands or hundreds of people, lakhs of people. And that's something which is very good. And I'm sure all these people who are coming back would be the ambassadors of being able to tell what I'm saying. Because whatever I'm saying is, of course, I'm comparing to what we saw and to what it is. Most of these tourists probably have not seen what it was, they're only seeing what it is. So it's okay, perfectly fine. As long as they're coming back comfortable, enjoying themselves, I think that's what it is all about. It has made a world of a difference. after Ladakh has become a union territory, and of course Arunachal as a state is doing very, very well. Yeah.
Yeah. Are the vibrant village schemes, vibrant villages scheme, a sensible idea, considering the cost of supplying them? Are they natives of the area? They are
See,
natives of the area. Let's
100%.
not have doubt.
Of course,
100%.
of course,
Yeah, yeah.
of course, the natives of the area, and all these vibrant villages which are coming up along, they're coming up with school facilities, they're coming up with health facilities, they're coming up with communication facilities. There's a road that is going there, water is available there, heating arrangements are available over there. Plus, of course, the army is in and around there. It makes world of a difference. It makes a world of a difference. Living in the 19th century and living in the 21st century and living well and having your vehicles come right up. I was surprised. You go to the remotest area in Arunachal Pradesh or to the remotest area in Ladakh, you find individuals having cars, vehicles. You find all kinds, good vehicles, small vehicles, big vehicles, all kinds of vehicles. Whether you're on towards the side of Turtuk, you see vehicles. You go towards Karadungla and beyond towards Yachin, again you find vehicles. You go here towards Chushul, you find vehicles. Everybody over there, the locals have plethora of vehicles and good vehicles. It is not that they're just only Marutis are there, 800. Good vehicles which can fly all around. Of course, Marutis are also there, but good vehicles all across, be it in Arunachal or be it in Ladakh. Srinagar obviously always had, there is no denying the fact, but all over it's good infrastructure, good people. It was wonderful, very nice to see people also high morale and looking forward to prosperity, which is now they are able to see it with their own eyes, feel it. I think that's a big thing, very big thing, sir.
Yeah, and no doubt. Experienced officers like you too generally opine that PLA can't fight in high altitude due to conscripts and no acclimatization. What if they start acclimatization? Will that reduce our advantages? Yeah, your take.
No, see what happens is, as I said, a defender has a huge advantage. We are not an expansionist nation. We are not going to attack. That is for sure. We are not going to start a war. If the Chinese intend to do it, they are the ones who will have to be on the back foot, because there's enough that we have to be able to cater. The Chinese understand that, and I'm sure if China wants India to be to both these old civilizations, if they have to coexist and must coexist as a friendly neighbors, it's good in their interest and also in the interest of our country. Both, it's a mutual give and take, that we must live as good neighbors, ensure that at least the LAC is peaceful, so that economically both the countries can grow. Of course, China has today gone 5 times ahead of India. Doesn't matter. We are tremendous amount of scope to catch up, and we will catch up. But the very fact that we have done so much in such a short span of time is itself a very big thing. I think that itself should be able to give jitters to the Chinese. Yes, what the question is, if should they acclimatize? Obviously they are now almost fully acclimatized, because they are also there. They may not be right eye to eyeball to eyeball. They're about there 5 kilometers, some places 8 kilometers, some places 15 kilometers behind, but they are there. Yeah, what really matters is, if you are constantly staying in a very heated environment, in a centrally heated environment, moving in a centrally heated vehicles at all times, then it's not easy to fight. You have to have
Mhm.
that, but you have to step out, and that
Right.
capability exists in our troops. They adapt and they acclimatize, adapt, and are ready to fight even the worst of sub-zero temperatures. Even if you go now, it's extremely cold, but he doesn't mind those 2 3 hours that he has to be there standing outside giving duties. He does that with full high morale, because he knows that yes, going back, he has adequate facilities to again recoup, recharge, and be ready again. Which, if you are perpetually, permanently in a very cantonment kind of complexes which the Chinese are behind, well, that may be a big disadvantage if you have to fight. Living is a separate issue. Fighting is a very different ball game altogether.
Yeah, I just want to add, if you are here in Chennai and go to Delhi, it's very cold. If you are in Delhi and go to Leh, it's very cold. If you are in Leh and go to Chushul and probably onto Post, it's even colder. But the reverse is also there. If you stay in Chushul, come down to Leh or come down to Delhi, you feel warm. what happens is the body gets used to the cold, right? And our people get used to the cold. As you keep getting used to the cold, you come to terms, your body adjusts to that. Acclimatization is just not breathing, it's just not your lungs. It is the ability to exist there, in harmony with the environment. And when you do that, you should do that with a few less comforts. You can be a little less comfortable. That will force you to adjust with the environment. That gives you the fighting edge. The Chinese have not learned that. They have centrally oxygenated chambers. They have heated rooms. The moment you get into a heated room, you lose your acclimatization. It is an old drill in all our altitudes. When you go to sleep at night, you put out your bukari, shukari, everything, and you sleep in the cold. You have a blanket, you have your thing, you sleep, and you wake up in the cold, and then you light up and warm up and all that. So you get used to the idea of, you know, the environmental conditioning of your body, which is important for people to fight. And that is what we have. And that will take a lot of time. It's a cultural shift if you have to have that. Because there are certain things we will not allow our troops to have. The kind of comforts the Chinese are given, we will not allow our troops to have, because that spoils their battle efficiency, right?
Well, what
That's
we
something
used
that,
to say, if you recollect General Shankar sir, we would say them chocolate soldiers. You don't want chocolate
chocolate.
soldiers. We want sturdy soldiers who can
Yeah,
fight,
yeah.
live up to it. Now you're sitting in Chennai with just a bushat on. I'm sitting here in Delhi with all this thing on.
It's
So you can
getting
see the
used.
difference between the two of us.
Yeah.
Very true.
Why doesn't the PLA open front in Uttarakhand and Himachal? Are we in advance in these areas? Can we open new fronts here? Let me answer this very clearly. You see, in Ladakh and in Arunachal, the PLA can, reach those areas. The central front, for them is something they are constrained logistically, right? And they have only one logistic artery, which is their western highway, right? So it is their logistics which inhibits them. They can't put too many troops out there, because all troops which they get there have to come either from Hotan, Kashgar, that bowl, or from Lhasa. And the moment they cross this in great numbers, they will be tracked. So that is why they can't do much in that area. So that is how it is. But in the north, they have places where they can hide. Even in the east, they have places where they can hide. Here, it's a little difficult. Okay.
And I also saw these vibrant villages both in
Yeah.
Pithoragarh and beyond. That is in the
Yeah,
central this
even
thing,
there they
and
are.
also in Himachal. Also in Himachal, lots of these vibrant villages of ours have come up all over, making comfortable for the villagers who are occupying those areas. So the shepherds don't have to come down during winters. They can sustain themselves, and all of them being given good connectivity, mobile connectivity, health facilities, water arrangements, heating arrangements. So they're all very comfortable. These vibrant villages are going to make world of a difference for because once you're occupying there, you know exactly what's happening and not vacating. So these vibrant villages
Yeah,
is a very nice scheme. Very nice scheme.
yeah, I agree with you completely. And then, media reports in recent days have spoken of previously undisclosed Galwan like incidents in 21 and 22 and covered off by India. Yeah, I did speak. We did it. We've done it. We have the capability. That's what I said earlier also. We have this capability. Now, add this capability with the kind of infrastructure, leg up which we've got there, which General Kulkarni has told you. Then see where Indian Army is placed vis-a-vis PLA. So just have confidence that things will be done. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. He's asking this. What can be the China roadmap to invade these areas as they are improving infrastructure, air bases, troops, etc.? Your take, then I
Yeah,
also
see,
give my
what
take.
happens is if the Chinese have over the years built up the infrastructure, they haven't just started like us in the last about say 8 to 10 years. They built up over the years. And what earlier, I still remember that it would take us say 6 7 days to get to a particular point. Now it doesn't even take few hours to get to that particular point. So that has changed. This drastic, dramatic change, mobilizations at both ends. You have all the kinds of surveillance devices, reconnaissance devices, all exactly what is going to happen. And it is not going to take long now with the kind of infrastructure that we have to be able to build wherever we want it at, in whatever time frame that we desire, which of course the Chinese are also aware that that is why the cribbing and crying and shouting and yelling of the Chinese remains, as if they don't want us to build our infrastructure. They only wanted that they should continue to construct the infrastructure as if it is their land, not realizing that they're occupying our land, and 40,000 of those our square kilometers is of ours with them, on which they are building their infrastructure, whereas we are building it in our own, and they're also building which otherwise is ours only. So the infrastructure that we are building allows us quicker mobilization, quicker ability to this thing. Nobody needs to look back. What would take days now takes few hours. So that difference between the PLA and the Indian Armed Forces has reduced drastically when it comes to the infrastructure part is concerned. The rest of it we'll see. We'll take on them at any point.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not a very big problem.
I don't think. Look, I think the days when PLA can do another, maneuver like what they did in 2020 are over. Okay. Now you've seen the events of 2021, 22, which have been reported in the media now recently. You have the capability of going across. If you think next time that the Chinese will try something this side that and we won't do, I think that is out. We'll do what we have to do. Don't worry. Okay, don't worry. It is one thing to say we should be having a peaceful LAC and all, but if they don't want peace, we'll give it back to them. Anyway, we've given it back to them in Galwan. We gave it back to them in Kailash Range. We've been giving it back to them in other places also, right? We'll give it back to other place also. Okay, so don't worry. Uh, Look, would Indian Army ever dare to occupy Karakoram Pass to severe CPEC? Karakoram Pass is... Look, Zahid Khan, let me tell you, I think your geography is wrong. Karakoram Pass is fully under our control. It is north of
Yes.
Dadot Gopi. You are talking of Kunjirap Pass. The CPC crosses the Kunjirap Pass. The Karakoram Highway doesn't go over the Karakoram Pass. The Karakoram Highway goes over the Kunjirap Pass, which is the border.
Part of the Shaksgam Valley, which is part of the Shaksgam Valley,
Yeah,
sir.
Rasgam Valley. It is on the other side. It is not
Exactly.
reachable by India, right? So, I mean, I think you are quite confused about it. So I leave it at that. Okay.
The Karakoram Highway, what for his knowledge, passes to Gilgit Baltistan, like you rightly say, through the Khunjara Pass. The
Yeah.
Karakoram passes from the Depsang and all over the
Yeah.
DPO part. Nothing to do with that at
But
all. Yeah,
nothing. They
I
are
can
doing
understand.
300, 400 kilometers apart.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. General Kulkarni, you're a role model for me and many OTA aspirants as you managed to become Lieutenant General despite being from OTA. Why? Why should he be, if
Yes.
despite being from OTA, he's from OTA, I'm from India,
Yeah,
what does
that's
it matter?
that I understand what he wants to convey, sir. We will
No,
not
yeah, I
read in
understand.
between us.
What advice would you give to us youth who want to emulate you and General Shankar? So he wants some advice for you.
I will only say, just follow your dream. Don't worry about wanting to become a general or something. Just put in your best everywhere. Army is one place, rather not the army, the armed forces is one place where you find transparency, camaraderie. If you're good, you will get what you deserve. Don't worry. You don't need to work for anything. You just need to be, whatever task is given to you, just put in your best. That's all I would say. Ever. And commitment, dedication, the desire to do something more for your troops. That is very essential. Don't keep yourself first. You must always be the last. You will be taken care of. Our troops are fantastic. You look after them, they'll take care of you 10 times over. So that is the way I look at it. And Jan Shankar has, imagine, he's been all over. He's been all over. There's not a place that he hasn't been to, whether it is Siachen, whether it is in Ladakh, as he was mentioning Karu, because I came out of the Karu region, whether it is in Arunachal Pradesh, where he was as a youngster. You saw his children also over there. So you find that he's been all over. So have we. So everybody, I would say, to if you want to join the armed forces, is absolutely essential. It is not a way of earning a living. It's a way of life. You should love it. And
Yeah,
if you love it,
yeah,
there is nothing stopping you from becoming anything, or even if you don't, let's say everybody won't become a general, doesn't matter. But the quotient of happiness, the feeling of good, that the amount of facilities that you can give to your children, the kind of the avenues that are open, the kind of friends that they all make when they all grow up together, people from different regions of the country meeting each other, same kind of passion, same commitment, same dedication, same sincerity, same camaraderie. Oh, it's amazing. It's just amazing. I think each one of us at this Agniveer scheme, which some people seem to be skeptical about, I would look at it as a game changer, because everybody is going to be now exposed. More number of people are going to be exposed, and once the exposure comes to, oh, that kind of spirit and that discipline and that motivation, the selflessness, all of it that you carry in your life therein after, you won't believe. I've retired, like Shankar said, 8 years back. Exactly 8 years back, I've retired. And guess what it is? I still get up in the morning at 5 o'clock. It doesn't change. Even sometimes much before that. आँख ही खुल जाता है. आदत है, habit. They say, na, a good habits are formed. What does the habit mean? If you remove H, a bit still remains. If you remove A, bit still remains. If you remove B, it still remains. That's the kind of feeling. That's the kind of training. That's the kind of upbringing that we all have. There is tremendous. Please join, and if you have it in you, just put it. Don't worry about ranks and promotion. That'll come your way automatically. Yes, sir.
yeah, yeah. I think so. There's no doubt about it. You had to work. That's about all. When I was a second lieutenant, all I wanted to become was a captain. उससे ज़्यादा हमारा सोच ही नहीं था.
Very true. Very true.
Right? Don't bother. Just work. Right? Uh, so that, I think we'll end the thing here. We've
Thank you very
answered all the
much.
questions.
Thank you very much.
And
Yeah,
I
thank you.
must thank you, Sanjay, for putting out such good pictures and sharing your experiences and telling
So,
everyone that what the truth is. हम बात करते रहते हैं कि सब कुछ ठीक नहीं है, हम पिछड़ रहे हैं वगैरह वगैरह. There's a sea change which has
कुछ
happened.
नहीं, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you provided that platform. I'm so happy that you're reaching
Yeah.
out to lakhs of people. Your channel is, being subscribed, and people are wanting to. I find them spread all over. Idhar, udhar se. I think पता नहीं कितने group में your thing will appear, because everyone is talking as a veteran with experience. And whenever you ask such pointed questions, each one of them contributes his little way. You can all disagree, doesn't matter. Disagreements are minor things. Yeah, absolutely. And good that we all disagree also, because we must agree to disagree and be able to move along as friends. That is what is important,
More
and not
important.
treat each other as something. Isko kya malum hai, usko kya. No. Each one of us must respect one another for the kind of qualifications that they have, the kind of training, the exposure that they've had, and all of us are super. And the present generation is just class and far more professional than what we are, because the technology that gives them to make them professional, much easier. We have to read so many books to understand what's going on. Today you can actually be, आपका channel से एक बंदे को सब पता चल जाता है ये क्या है. So in a way he's really prepared. Yeah, big thing, sir.
And there's no doubt about it. Right? Thanks a lot to all of you, and Jai Hind, and wish you a very good evening. Thanks, Sanjay.
Thank
Good
you,
evening,
sir.
and Jai Hind to you also.
Thank you. Jai Hind, sir. Jai Hind, sir.